Hello, my name is Sarah, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the Witch's Moon for April 2022. And in addition, I'm going to be unboxing the Touchstone Tarot, which is a completely separate thing, but I figured why not? We'll do two things together. The first item that we see on top of the box is the personalized oracle reading and the list of contents for the box. I recognize the backs of this oracle. I used to have it back in the day, and it's a beautiful oracle deck. It is The Spirit of Animals Oracle by Jody Bergsma, and her artwork is beautiful. This one is Grizzly Bear Power. The theme for this month's box is Deep Within the Woods. I love working with tree energy, so this is right up my alley. The first item we have is some artwork. It is called To Call Upon the Guardian Sigil. You can place this in your Book of Shadows or on your altar. Next, we have the Magical Tree Companion artwork. There is a key of elemental and planetary symbols on top. Each tree shows a picture of the bark and the leaf. Each tree has at least one elemental and planetary association. It has the common name, the genus of the tree, the folk name, and the attributes or the characteristics of the tree. Overall, it's quite lovely. Next, we have Moroccan Red Clay. Moroccan clay has been used since the 8th century to cleanse the skin and bring radiance to the aura. Although this can commonly be used within cosmetic elixirs, the benefits also translate to the spiritual plane. Include a pinch of Moroccan clay into your mojo bag or poppets to bring cleansing and radiating energies into your workings. Next, we have Chia Seeds, which is used for protection and healing. Chia seeds can be included in your herbal incense blends or placed in the corners of your home or sacred space, and is also used to help stop gossip. Next, we have astragalus root, which I may have pronounced incorrectly, so I apologize. It comes from the Greek word of knuckle bones, which was used for its creating game pieces. It also has the magical properties of protection and energy. Next, we have the Wooded Sanctuary Celebratory Sacred Salt. Within the salt, there is green tea, clove, and cedarwood oils, as well as green tea, lavender, and peppermint herbs, and it smells divine. Next, we have the Green Goddess Ritual Aura Spray. The Green Goddess refers to the divine Earth Mother energies that flow through all natural living things. The spray includes oils of cedarwood, green tea, sandalwood, chamomile, cypress, clove, and a special mixture of their Mother Earth magical oil from their own personal cabinet of witchery. It has a very clean smell. It's not overly floral. It is not overly musky. It is just a very clean smell, and it's refreshing. Next, we have a very large stone. This is Fuchsite, which helps to overcome codependency and aids in speedy recovery from trauma, both emotional and physical trauma. And this is a rough cut, and it's hard to tell, but it's actually quite sparkly. And it is, substantial in size too. So this is a lovely piece. Next, we have the hand-rolled Earth Wisdom Spell Candle. This candle has been rolled with the intention of connecting with the natural energies. It has been rolled with dandelion leaf to enhance your psychic sight while performing your magical workings. They have also included the oils of lang lang, cedarwood, and sandalwood into the rolling of the spell candle. Next, we have my most favorite item in the box is the incense sticks. These ones are called Breath of the Forest Ritual Incense Sticks. You can use incense to cleanse your area, I use them as an offering at times too, and yeah, these are the best incense sticks ever. Next, we have the large item in this subscription box, and it is a hand-carved Earth Spirit Companion. It has been created exclusively for the subscribers of the Witch's Moon and comes from epically sourced fallen and broken branches of the Glaucidia tree. They have been naturally collected over the course of many moons. You can place this on a shelf, near potted plants, or within your magical garden. You will notice a small circle above the eyes, and that's supposed to represent second sight, which will help you perceive the world in new ways. Each carving is unique and will not match another. They have been created to represent our connection to the natural world and to foster our innate ability to call upon spirits to provide offerings and to seek wisdom, guidance, or inspiration. If you enjoy working with OMs, this is a perfect companion for that. You can work with this energy. It's just simply stunning. I love the knots in it. It's just such a unique piece, and it's so beautiful. From the Witch's Moon. As we walk along our magical paths, we can easily be burdened and distracted by what is happening everywhere around us, convincing ourselves that it must be more important than what lies before us. Although we are surrounded by important components of our life, it is not until we walk deep into the woods or away from confusion and clutter that we can truly coincide with purpose and practice. It is within this state that we are perceptive to hearing from our guides and guardians. We work with aspects of the deep woods that can bring us comfort, guidance, and grounding. And that concludes the Witch's Moon box for April 2022. And now we are moving on to the Touchstone Tarot. The Touchstone Tarot is not a deck that I would normally be interested in, but there was something about it that I kept going back and looking at the images, and I decided to go ahead and get it. It is made by Cat Black, and it is a collage style deck. It is produced by US Games, so it is mass market. It has a beautiful two-piece box. US Games does a great job of their two-piece box. It's either a tug box or a two-piece box from US Games, so I'm glad this one is in a two-piece. So from my understanding, Cat Black had an earlier tarot deck called the Golden Tarot back in 2000, and that used digital collage work of early Renaissance paintings and artwork, and it followed the Rider-Waite-Smith style. And then after that, she created the Touchstone Tarot, which used Northern Renaissance or Baroque style artwork as well. So the cards were wrapped in plastic even within the box, which is, not a bad thing, because sometimes with the paper wrapping or plastic wrapping around the cards, it can damage one of the cards. And then you give the cards a little bend with the gilding to make sure they don't stick. And now let's take a look at the guidebook. So first impressions on the little white book is that it's well made. There is an introduction in regards to the history of how this deck was created, a little more information about the deck, major arcana. Looks like to be about an inch black and white thumbnail of the card. And then for each card, looks like we have a brief description of what's going on in the card, the upright meaning, the reverse meaning, and for the minors, it looks like we have if you have multiple in a spread. So if you have like multiple threes in a spread, what does that mean? If you have multiple twos in a spread, what could that indicate? And in the back, we have information about the art and where that was used from. So I like that the artist, the original artist of the painting, has been recognized, and I think that that is, respectful. We have a few spreads here, 3-card Celtic cross, and then we have the Lover's Knot spread, which is really interesting. I think that this deck, since it has, a focus on people, would be a good deck for relationship spreads. And the last page has an about the author or the maker of the deck, Kate Black, and totals 107 pages. And going back to the cards, they are, a medium, I would say, thickness. They are high gloss. There are 3 borders. You have the brown border, the white border, and then there's a gold border, and then you have the main image. On the bottom, there is a name plaque that is, it's easy to read, and it's kind of fitting. It looks like you're in a museum. You're looking at an art piece in a museum. And the backs are lovely. And the U.S. game copyright insignia is pretty small. I can barely see it. So overall, this is, a beautiful deck. And I think we should do a quick flip through. So let's do that. So there is definitely a warm feeling when I'm looking at these cards. Like it's very like a soft kind of energy. It's very welcoming energy. A lot of the cards are from the waist up and front facing, which is very reminiscent of the Hidden Realm Tarot, which I am also a huge fan of. Even though I am not an expert when it comes to digital art, the collage work for these historic paintings is really well done. It almost looks to me pretty seamless. It looks like as if the original was in fact painted for this tarot deck. And I'm loving this devil card. So as I mentioned, this deck is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith system, and the artist created this deck specifically to be warmer and to have a more human touch. The artist's intention was to focus on human facial expression, as our facial expressions are a giveaway of our emotional and mental state for the most part. It is one of our main methods for communication. Even when we're, young babies, we still pick up on facial expressions to understand our environment and those around us. And this deck really focuses in on on facial expression and body language to portray and to communicate the meaning of that specific card. Another element that I really appreciate is the fact that each suit still has their symbolism in it. All of the wands actually have wands placed into the image, and all the cups, have cups placed into the image. In addition, there is some color coding as well. Obviously, as you can see now, the cups all have blue located somewhere within the card. And it's not in your face. It's definitely like subtle. It could either be the background, what they're wearing, the foreground. There's some element within the card that is the right color coding for that suit. So the color coding goes, again, blue for cups, red for wands. You'll see green for pentacles. And then for swords, it is a golden color, but the sword suit seems to be less obvious than the other suits. So that one is not as apparent as the wands, cups, and pentacles suits, but still beautiful. You can see that there are still yellow in there. It's just not as obvious, to me at least, when compared to the other suits. Overall, these images are stunning. And normally, even though I am an air sign and you would imagine that, you know, the suit of swords would be my favorite suit, it's usually not, but in this deck it actually is. This sword suit is stunning. It's I can't quite articulate it, but it's just regal. And it is, you know, there is a somber feeling to it. And this Queen of Wands she's fierce looking. And now we are looking at the final suit of the deck, the coins. And as mentioned before, they are color coded. So these cards all have an element of green within them. Overall, I am really impressed with the artwork that was selected. It is very fitting for each of the cards, and it really complies with the RWS system. And it's very thoughtful, and it works really well. So the overall energy that I'm getting from this deck, I would describe as warm, regal, subtle, and clear. I feel like this is going to be a very clear reading kind of deck, although it's going to do it in a caring way. Even if it is, you know, a negative reading, I think you're still going to walk away with a feeling of, you know, being okay with the situation. So they even have a happy squirrel card, so you know this deck is 100% complete. And here is the Touchstone Tarot artist card, and at the very bottom it says, may they be 78 friends you can hold in your hand. And I think that is a very accurate description of this deck. So overhand shuffling this deck is pretty slick. This is my favorite type of cardstock. I like high gloss. I like the gilding. This is, production wise, a beautiful deck. It's my style. Now they are a little on the larger side as far as card size, so it is going to be a wee bit tricky for me to shuffle, and it's not quite a clean shuffle, but you know, it's not bad. It's not terrible. So now I'm going to lay out a few cards just to see what they look like next to each other, because I mean, let's face it, overall aesthetics does have a part in, you know, tarot readings. You know, you want your cards to look beautiful next to each other. Consistency, for me, does have an effect on overall presentation. And together, these cards look beautiful. I feel like I'm standing in a museum. And that concludes the unboxing and first impressions of the Touchstone Tarot. So thank you for watching, and bye.